with his statements. Beware the tricks.
Yeah.
It's always like, blah, 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 and then she just cuts off. Hello everyone, welcome to Geeky Girly Gaming. I'm Holly.
And whether you're looking for a date or the love of your life, you know where to find us and find them.
You just had that memorized.
I had that prep. For those of you who don't know, Bumble. I constantly get ads on YouTube for Bumble. I don't go on Bumble. That's a dating app.
You better not.
I've never. I wouldn't because it sounds stupid. Bumble. It's a dating site for bees. But like, this woman comes up every day and tells me where to find us and find them. What does that mean?
It really doesn't make any sense.
Anyway.
So we're playing Crash Bandicoot, Cortex Strikes Back. It's been a couple weeks.
I'm going into Diggin It.
Oh, we forgot to point out. So in the last episode, which was like a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah. For us.
And I think for them as well.
For us and them.
We had missed the crystal in hanging out. So before we started recording, we went in and we got that crystal because I was like, we missed a crystal.
I ended the last session on 2 lives. I went and I threw those away. And then I had to restart the level again, and it's been a minute. Oh, look at this hot mess.
And so, all last week, we were on vacation.
Yes.
So good. I'm wearing a shirt that has Rob Thomas on it. It's like a shirt I've had for a few years now, since 2019.
Oh no.
We went to see Rob Thomas live back in 2019 at Casino Rama in Aurelia. I don't know why I said it like that. I was like, wait, it's just a casino in Ontario. Yeah. I was just like, I'm just talking like, but it's like there are some people who have probably never heard of that. That's what I realized like halfway through that sentence. Anyway. Casino Rama is a pretty popular venue for, like, there's a lot of people who have played there, and we went and saw Rob Thomas. It was awesome. And then about 6 months later, in January of 2020, Matchbox 20 announced a tour, and they were going to be coming to Toronto it was either June or July of 2020. And they were doing the Matchbox 2020 tour. And I was like, yep. And I bought tickets in January of 2020. And then everything happened.
And the world went to shit.
And then it got postponed. And then it got postponed again. And then it got postponed again. And there was the option to refund the tickets. And I was like, no. Like, we are going to go to this concert. I don't care when it is. We're going. And finally, last week... last Wednesday, we finally got to go, and oh my god, we saw Matchbox 20.
Finally.
Yeah, and oh my gosh.
And I can't talk about it because I'll cry.
Yes, we were driving home from Toronto.
Cats.
And, a little cat.
Yeah.
And we started talking about it, and Frank got all teared up. And
I'm a little better now. I think I can talk about it a little bit. I was just thinking during the concert. Oh shit. These are all songs that I grew up listening to, and I was thinking of why did I do that? Of all the times in my life when I first heard these songs, and it meant a lot to me, So, I'm not ashamed to admit, I got emotional and I teared up, because it was a very important moment in my life to see those band members and during, like, live, who were around during, like, the forming years of my life. Fuck off with this stupid fucking plane.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I'm so glad that Kyle Cook is still in the band, because in 2016, he announced that he was leaving the band due to, like, I was just reading about this yesterday, actually, that, like, they're having disagreements, and, like, just the whole future of Matchbox 20 was kind of, they didn't know what was happening, and, like, the funny thing about Matchbox 20 is that, like, they take these really long hiatuses. They never break up but like they go off and they do their like own things, and they really only release an album like every 5 or more years. Like they have what, 5 albums now, but they've been around for 27 years. Like, you know, like they like it's such a strange thing. But yeah, like Kyle Cook announced that he was leaving the band, and thank God he didn't. I mean, he does all the guitar solos and plays all these cool guitars and stuff, and like it just wouldn't have been the same if they had to replace him. And he sings like some of the songs even, and
Yes.
it was funny. They released a new album just very recently, which we hadn't really listened to. I had sort of listened to it. I know, true fans here. We just totally ignored it. No, like I just like it sounded more pop and less like cause you know, like bands evolve and they change their sound and stuff. So I was like not really too sure if it was like if I was into it or not. And then on the way to Toronto, we listened to the whole album, and it was like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's just a lot more pop than Matchbox 20 used to be. Kind of more like kind of rock, like alt rock, I guess is what they've always been.
This has been Holly's album review, if anyone.
It's a terrible album review. But what I'm gonna say though is, at the concert they played like 5 or 6 songs from the new album. They did actually quite a few of them, and live I was like, okay, and now I can like hear the new songs and be like, okay, these are actually like really good songs. Now that I've seen them live, like they're really energetic. They're like the perfect songs for performing live, and like it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's kind of how their last album was too, like the one that they released back in, oh my god, 2016 or 17 or whenever North was released. Because like some of the songs on that were more pop as well, but they're like really good for performing live. So it's all about having fun. And oh my gosh, like Matchbox 20 live, like for like a bunch of like guys that are like 50 or close to 50
or more.
Like they are energetic, running around for 2 hours. And I know I have a lot to say about this. Well, now that we've seen like both like Matchbox 20 live and Rob Thomas live, the difference in the shows is that like I feel like with Matchbox 20 they tried to pack as many songs into 2 hours as they possibly could. Like they were just playing song after song, whereas like Rob Thomas, he told a lot of stories and stuff at his concert and kind of talked more, and it was nice. Like
that bee fucking chased me a mile.
Darn. But yeah, and I said now the next thing that we have to do is we have to do a VIP thing next, where we like get to meet them. That would be the next. Like we've done. It's like, you know, you started with Rob Thomas, and then you went to see Matchbox 20, and now you gotta do the VIP thing where you
How
get to
am I supposed to afford that?
Oh, we could afford it.
We have to give up this house.
No. No. I do not think so.
It's gonna be expensive.
It would be worth it though.
Yeah.
See, the way I thought about it was, some people go on trips, right? Like, you know, they go to like Cuba or like the Bahamas or whatever, and they take like these week-long trips, right? Or like Disney. If you go on like a Disney cruise and they spend, you know, probably thousands of dollars to do something like that. Maybe not thousands. Like Cuba, I've heard Cuba's pretty affordable to go to a resort in Cuba. That's why a lot of people do that.
Oh shit. I didn't want that life anyway.
But I think that, like, you know, if you thought of it like, well, instead of going on a trip,
hey, look, there's
we'll just a crystal. Yay. Then we'll just go and like meet Matchbox 20 and do like a VIP thing, which would probably be very quick and very short. When you really think about it, it's not like you get to hang out with them for the whole day. But yeah, that like it's kind of like, you know,
it's
one thing. It's an experience, yeah.
And I already had an experience, and I'm happy, but you know, that would also be.
I found that during the concert, I didn't even look at you a whole lot.
Well, why would you? I'm not. You already know what I look like.
You were beside me, but I was just like.
I'm not putting on a show.
You couldn't talk. It was way too loud.
It was very loud.
I thought I was going to go deaf in this ear because at one point I felt like a vibration. It felt like my eardrum vibrated, and then it started to hurt, and I was like, oh no, I think I just blew my eardrum. And I was just like, so I ended up like standing there with my hand over my ear for about half the concert, and my arm was cramping up. And the next day, okay, I realized that I had these little earplugs with me the entire time. They were in my coat pocket, but I didn't have my coat on. I just was carrying it, and I brought it with me. And I could have just stuck the little like earplug in my ear. And yeah, how old do I sound? Oh, I'm gonna go to this amazing concert and wear earplugs. But and that would have like saved my ear and my arm.
Yeah.
But and Brent was like, oh, I don't care if I'm deaf after this concert. This is the last thing I need to hear.
Yeah.
And then like there was a lot of like really bright like flashing lights and stuff. And the last song that they did was Bright Lights. And I felt like the lights were really bright, and I was like, oh, we're gonna be deaf and blind after this concert.
The woman in front of us said she couldn't speak anymore.
She's like, oh, I have no voice left now, but
so I was like, I'm like sacrificed every part of my body here. I don't care. I'm done.
That was like the highlight of the week was that concert. It's the whole reason that we went off and.
Oh, Tex has something to say.
Here we go.
Oh, Coco.
I have not much time. Cortex has almost completed the new space station. Something's not right with his statements. Beware the tricks he's got.
Yeah.
It's always like, blah, 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 and then she just cuts off.
Should I try behaving again?
Yes.
In the next episode?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely. You gotta figure out that life farming thing.
I really need it.
And I just talked about that concert for the whole episode. I didn't even see any of that level. Sorry.
It wasn't that interesting.
It kind of looked like a few of the other levels I've already seen, so.
Yeah.
Alright, well, guess we will end that here then. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode and heard all my stories about one topic. And yeah, if you're enjoying this series, there's a whole playlist so you can check out the whole series on our channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. And we will see you on the next one.
Take care.
Bye.